What's going on, guys? Welcome to Brand Culture Collective, and you're joined by myself, Delaney.
Rondell.
And Simon.
What's going on, guys? What you lot be saying?
Bless, man. It's been a good week.
Good, all good, all good. Yeah, just a
What, long
busy,
week?
busy,
Quick week?
yeah,
I've been hitting the gym, man.
busy week, mate. Busy
Trying to
week.
get ready for summer 2025.
True. Summer comes quick, you know,
I was round the
and
corner.
then you want to be out there in your fresh drip.
You see what I'm
You know what
saying?
I mean?
Rocking that Corteiz.
Look at that Corteiz. What were your stolen ideas?
Nah, man, not me. Man.
Corteiz.
Original.
Have you not seen that though?
Yeah. I've seen it still, like on Twitter, man. I can't lie. I think it's a good marketing, like what he's done. Still, how do you not see it?
Do you know? Let me give people a bit more context. So for people that don't know, what's his name? Clint419 is the owner of the brand Corteiz. Yeah, I probably said it wrong. Corteiz.
I say Corteiz. Yeah.
Corteiz, yeah, all right, cool. And he
419.
ran a competition online recently for someone to design a new collection for him, and they win what, 5K?
Yeah.
But there's two sides to this story. Like, I'm seeing some people say, "Oh, yeah, it's a great opportunity." And I'm seeing some people say, "Oh, like it's exploitation." But what do you lot think?
I think it's a bit of both. You know, I mean, it's business and it's good business. I feel like he's gone on Twitter to get some ideas, which is kind of smart. He's getting multiple of ideas, and he's getting it for a cheap price, £5,000. So it is what it is. How do you see it runs?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, it's definitely, for me, it's exploitation, to keep it real. I think, I think Clint's a shrewd businessman. I think he's smart. I think he's learned along the way. I think he's probably seen things within business because I know he's so for people who don't know as well, like Clint actually going to different countries as well, marketing his brand, obviously,
Okay.
getting some more exposure to Cortez. So he does things with like denim tears, if anyone's familiar with that brand. It's an American brand, but to like black heritage, black culture. The brand CEO, he worked with Kanye, and Clint's he built a strong relationship with the CEO of Denim Tears. He recently they've done a collab where they had like a camel Denim Tear dropped like a camel sort of clothing section. So Denim Tears done the camel section, and if we know, Clint's done one with Nike where he released the sort of camel. Don't know what trainer that was, a retro
Harachis
one. Yeah,
and
the
I think
retro.
the horsehair ones. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's like those two brands, they haven't actually had an official collab, but the relationship he's building is obviously there. Um, so I say all that to say he's doing lots of like shrewd business moves on self-branding himself, but it helps Cortez as a brand. So when we rewind time and he's doing something like this, it doesn't strike me as a surprise because he is that smart, he is that shrewd, he is that
Savvy.
business savvy in what he's doing. So I think when we look about 5K, I mean that's nothing compared to the resources you'd have to usually pull off to do something like this. So yeah, he and then his his approach to this can be, yeah, someone wins the competition, but then there's a backlog of other designs that he's exposed to. And we know as designers, once we've seen all these ideas, inspiration can be taken. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
100. Yeah, inspiration.
inspiration.
So you just change
So
it a few things here and there, and you're good to go.
yeah. So all the other designs that were done, or let's say people don't win, I don't think it's getting binned. I think it's getting used for later. Like, don't be surprised if we see these guys having to sue Clint in the future.
Yeah, that's yeah, if they can. But that's the thing in it. Like, have you seen that picture of him, and he's like he's making a joke of it, but he's got all the designs printed out, yeah, and he's like Cortez collection 2026 or something like that. Like, there's
Yeah,
no doubt if you've seen a good idea and you know it doesn't belong to anyone, like these people are willingly giving up their ideas. Like, why wouldn't you use it in it? I think it's two things. Like, I think he's exploiting the designers and the young creatives that are coming up because they're so desperate for opportunities. Yeah, but I also think that the creators and the designers are a bit like stupid for doing this. Do you know what I mean?
I'd definitely say that I definitely say they're naive. Um,
Naive. Yeah.
Naive, yeah. I'll say that because I mean there is some stupidness to it as well, but I'll say that because it's almost like I remember that artists they'll kind of to get free album artwork. You've probably seen this, Rondo. Can someone design
Hmm.
me a cover? And people be so quick to
Mm,
do it. You know what I mean? So it's almost the
Hmm.
same thing. People are just trying to get the money,
To
get the
make it.
designs out. But like you said, they don't.
mm.
It's this and that they're naive. They don't realize the power they've got because they just want to, put
Yeah.
themselves out.
Well, it sounds like we're all in general consensus, but let's play to play devil's advocate, yeah. It was a
Mm.
competition, right? So it's official, like people can like let's he did have a competition. There are people who enter the competition, yeah. It's an opportunity for designer. So I think if you're in the design space, maybe the winner, I think there was a guy called Maya. I think his name's Maya on Twitter and in the digital world. I think that's his name. I'm not too sure.
The Syrian,
The
But he
Syrian
actually
boy,
won
innit?
a yeah,
Syrian.
yeah, 22-year-old from Syria, and he won the competition. He did win 5K, so it wasn't an actual it wasn't fraud. It wasn't someone won the competition. So let's say in this case, maybe he had someone from Syria has no exposure to the Western world, like to make it out there in life. He's a designer. He's now have that recognition and that portfolio, something to add to his portfolio, and he has that clout
Mm.
now to then he can use and set up his career. He can take it to, I don't know, maybe somewhere in Syria, somewhere in America, even somewhere here in the UK.
Yeah,
And
he can change his
obviously
life, innit?
he can change his life. So one can say maybe Clint created an opportunity, whereas let's look at other brands. Do other brands do something like this? Do you know what I mean?
No, they
So
they they don't. They
They
might go through
don't.
other
mm,
avenues, but they don't. But you know
Yeah.
what? Actually, wait. Tell a lie. Dapper Dan, who used to do the whole custom Gucci stuff back in the 80s.
yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he used to do a lot of take people buy Gucci, the patterns and cut it up and create it
Yeah.
in a way that suits more like the black mecca at that time, like to capture what
Hmm.
made sense. And back then he got shut down and he was sued, and they were like, you're taking our fashion and you're changing it up, you're changing our brand. But years to come now, with with hip hop being big and so much stuff, they've hired Dapper Dan again to create the stuff he made in the 80s, but this time they've paid him. So you saying other brands they do it, they in a way they go through other avenues, so it's smart. I feel like with what Clinton's done, he's done it in a smart way as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't think, because if somebody tries to sue him, they've entered into a competition. So
Yeah. But it's an
wouldn't
unofficial competition though, at the same time. Like,
it is
it's not
unofficial.
like he's got like terms and conditions.
It's unofficial. Yeah, it is. It is unofficial. It is. I hear what you're saying there, but at the same time, it's bold and people love it. And even if he does get sued, it's good for him, right? Because it's still clout.
It's
Yeah.
good brand. It's good brand exposure. The thing is, there's Clint again. When you look at his background, he's done things like this. Like when Dave launched Corteiz, the brand, he done this great bolo giveaway or something, and
Mm-hmm.
they circulated hype around the brand by giving out these. So what you would trade in your North Face, or I think any jacket. Don't quote me. That's like probably like over £100 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yeah, it was
trade
a
it
bit like
in.
maybe
You
250.
yeah, probably like 250. So,
Because
and you
when you
can trade it in, and you would get his bolo jacket. So you trade it
smart,
in, you get a bolo jacket. So yeah, so you set a location, and they still do this location thing. Um, he'd say, okay, let's set up in like central London, give out the location, we'll be there, and he'd have like 500 of his new bolo jackets or whatever, and then people were going crazy. It circulated a buzz. It was great brand exposure. So something like this now, again, he's getting the name out there.
I,
Fans are involved. People are talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, so, yeah. Let me. You see. I think you said they're on their spot on. So I think the suing thing. I think that he doesn't need to worry about it. I think what
None of
he's
the people are gonna sue anyway. They're too small. They're too small, like, to
exactly.
sue.
I think what he's done here. Yes, he's paid someone 5K, but he's also paid for marketing. He's paid for exposure of the new set. He's paid for marketing. He's not giving something out for. He's paid for marketing and additional. He's got some additional ideas that he can explore if he wants to, and I'm sure he's gonna go about it in a smart way if he wants to ever explore them.
You see the thing what I've noticed about him, yeah, is that he's got a way of getting more than what he pays for, right?
Good businessman.
So like he's a good businessman, isn't it? Like he's good at marketing, he's really good at what he does. Like so there's two sides to it. So there's the
So
side where like
he's also, sorry, Delaney, he's also innovative. That's a key word there in
yeah,
stunt.
you can say yeah,
That's
he's
what,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? He's doing something, he's elevated something that we've had before. Like how many people do we know that started a clothing line and it's just a man printing t-shirt, but he's elevated it to like it's a substantial thing, isn't it? But like he's great at business, but he's also exploiting creatives, isn't it? And you can appreciate him being great at business, but us as creatives, it's like we see like obviously we've probably been in this position before. Like I've had like rappers message me and want to do album art, and I'm like, okay, how much is the fee? And I said they've got £50. Do you know what I mean? When you're planning to make money from what you're putting out, so it's like, where is the recognition or the respect for the creative in it? And
Yeah.
I think what I think is that young creatives are so hungry for opportunities because there's not a lot of opportunities out there anymore, or it's becoming less and less.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
100%.
we're cheapening our industry by being so hungry. Because yeah, he asks for the ideas and the designs here, but you don't have to give it to him. Do you know what I mean? So like now, your work's worth nothing.
Even at 5K is too small, if you ask me.
Yeah, 5K is not even enough.
It's not enough,
No,
man.
like you said,
Like,
Simon, 5K is his marketing budget. That's nothing
yeah,
for a
that's the
brand like
market.
Corteiz.
Yeah, that's the market.
Yeah. And what he gets in return, Delaney, now is like 10 times
He
what
paid
he
for, yeah.
actually,
So
yeah.
Delaney's right. What he paid for, he paid for marketing, he paid for new designs, yeah, he paid for everything. Really. What would
But
cost
it's
maybe
mad.
like
It's
50K or even 100K? He got 5K.
Okay.
Yeah, and imagine it's not just even the straight the money, like to
Yes.
develop a new collection or whatever. Even he might not even use it in it, like he might not even use it,
No.
but like if he does use it to develop a new collection, that must take months and a lot of sweat equity. Like that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Lots
Whereas
of in-house.
But
someone's just escalating the
but
process.
what another thing that he's done? Yes, you're right. To create a new collection, it takes months and time. But his whole thing is kind of fast fashion, and I remember when we started the other page, we spoke about him and Manu Devoir, and I think you're right. To build a whole collection takes months, but the fact that he's created this buzz around this whole new thing, because people love hype, people love clout, people love, oh my, like I'm telling you, people will buy this new collection just for the fact it was a competition. They've seen the design come to life. They'll be like, oh my god, it's so exciting. So in that moment, that collection will do what it needs to do because it's fast fashion. You know, people are buying into the competition idea, right?
Yeah, but you know what's funny though as well. Yeah, is that I'm sending this to you lot now. Is that like it's not even like he intentionally went out of his way to set up this competition. It was literally after a response of someone saying that he's not innovating, he's not doing well with the brand and whatever. So his response to that specific person was, "Okay, cool. Let's see what you can do," and whatever, whatever. And that person didn't like rise to the occasion. And then you had other people throwing in their stuff. Then he thought, all right, cool, let's turn this into a competition. So he's very smart with how he responds to things. He understands that like every interaction that he has online with someone is a potential to market his brand.
Yeah, there's also that element of like being involved, so like fans, people, like just being part of it, being part of the conversation, being part of the brand. I think it helps, you know. I think it helps the brand itself. I think it obviously directly helps him. I mean, if you look at that picture we're talking about, you can see how much work designers actually put into this. Like you can see there's lots of great work there. You know, lots of time invested in beautiful designs. I can see beautiful pieces there. So he's got a lot. He's got a lot going on there. Definitely.
Yeah, but while it's good for like brand awareness of the Cortez brand there, how do you think that it does for his own like personal brand? Like, how does it portray him as a person?
Well, sorry, say that again. Like to portray him as
Yeah, like how does it make him look in it? Because like what I'm thinking is that yeah, cool, we've got eyes on your brand, but you look like a super villain.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, I'll just go on a limb here and say it doesn't really affect his brand, personal brand. I know
yeah,
it might be, we might have different opinions, but how much, like, again, I'm not particularly in the Twitter space, so I can't really
Mm.
speak to say his on how much is impacting his a negative image on him from the internet. But there's the internet and there's the real world, right?
Oh
So
wow, yeah.
so in a sense, well, like I'm saying, he's doing stuff to build his personal brand, like the denim tear stuff. He's going out there in America, building these relationships with other brands, you know, getting himself out there. So I think the internet world, obviously, it sometimes it doesn't necessarily translate. Like it has a huge impact, obviously, the internet space does, but I don't quite know how much it affects his personal brand. I don't think it does, to be honest. I think something
it
like this,
does.
people
It
remember the
does.
competition. They would remember what this was, but they won't actually. You tend to find out that people don't care as much, and they just ended up
Mm.
forgetting. Like they just don't care. It's on to the next.
Yeah,
Okay, this
yeah, yeah.
competition happened. People got exploited, but then it doesn't really have an impact on the bottom line. They're just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Like, let's go about life. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think, anyways.
No, I
I
think
don't think this is his first time doing this either.
no, it's not. I think
Oh, is
he's
it?
quite
Oh,
outrageous with his personal brand, and so I feel it is what it is, kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be anyone that's not going to wear Corteiz he's um because he's exploiting creatives. Like the thing is as well, like he's not. If we be real, like him, yes, he is exploiting creatives, but like the whole world does, isn't it?
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's business, isn't it? Who doesn't?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come on, high end fashion designs, are they really worth those prices they say they are? Come on, man.
yeah. Let's
And
say
they're not,
you're
and
in-house
they're not
graphic
paying,
designer. Let's.
and they're
Mhm.
not paying their workers the money. Come on, everyone's getting exploited. It's business, isn't it?
Exactly. Let's say Clint's in-house. Let's say if you work for Corteiz as a designer, how
Hmm.
much what are their wages like? Like do they get
Yeah,
paid
yeah,
what
yeah.
they what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think they would, I don't think they would. I think they're getting paid probably. I can't speak on stuff like that, but I think it's competitive to the industry. And when we look at it from a holistic point of view, like like most creatives get exploit. We're kind of like at the bottom, right? We're the most important, but
Yeah.
but when it comes to money and finances, we don't
But
get
this
what
is the thing, though. It's all about
we do.
numbers, right? So I think you both said something interesting there. So it's like when you're creative, and that's all you're doing is creating things. But when you understand numbers and the ideas, and I know some design. Listen, it's funny, man, because someone sent me that Clint stuff. No offense. Someone sent it to me. Like, oh, you should do it. I said, listen, I ain't gonna waste my time. Because, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna keep 100. Like, no offense. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna waste my time because I know the value that I bring. And
Mm.
that's the same thing with business. Like, how can you get the most out of something and bring value? And when you're talking them kind of levels, then you're kind of senior creative, and you can do the design, you know how the design works. But there's a level there's a level of degree where the design matters, and then you have to start making sense out of the numbers. And I feel
Mm.
like he's very good at that. He's very, very good at that. You know, he's very, very good at that, and I can't fault him. And that's what he's done in this situation. And I've always said marketing done in a way where you can kill two birds with one stone. You win all the
It's
time.
Yeah.
true, but the creative loses, isn't it? Like it's yeah, he might be the topic of conversation today, but it's a industry wide problem. Like
Yeah, I feel like
creatives are not being paid properly, like the real value of their work. But it's also the creatives that are devaluing their work by doing things like this.
yeah. But you know what
Yeah,
before?
yeah. I love
It's,
I love how the dynamic shifted to now. We know Clint obviously exploited. We know it's helping his brand and stuff. But let's look at it from a perspective of cool. You're the creative, right?
Mm.
You're from Syria. Let's look at the winner.
Mm.
Has he, let's look at his journey. I know, for instance, my personal journey. Like I had to obviously coming from uni, I had to join a not particularly good design job. I had to get one. I was underpaid at first. Do you know what I mean? I had to
Hmm.
go through that process of seeking opportunity. If we look at it and shift our
You're still
opinion
getting
now and
paid
say,
for
look,
that.
does he like did he even have opportunities? Did Clint offer him an opportunity, a platform to showcase his talent? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whereas
Yeah.
most people don't. Like, is there in Syria? Is
he
there
can get
even that
clients.
space? Is it even there?
Is there an
Sorry, go on,
industry
sorry.
in Syria for him to even work
Yeah,
into?
to even
No,
work
but
on it. Like, is there a brand as that has that clout? You know. So I
he can
think.
get
So I
clients.
think. I think. Yeah, of
No,
course. But I
I
think there's
disagree.
a
With, I
now
disagree with
there's
what you're
so.
saying, bro. I
Mhm.
disagree with saying, man, we've got to do this. But I feel like the
Yeah,
same way
yeah,
Clint's done. But this is what I'm trying to say about creatives,
mhm,
bro. And I see with Clint, he's got proactive, not reactive. A lot of creators are just reactive, bro. Here's a design, like a design for servers. What I'll do if I was
mhm.
this guy, I've won a competition. I don't know how many people have seen that post on Twitter. He's probably gonna get more followings. I'll just say, look, I'm a designer. I design pieces. He can easily set now. He's got 5K. He can easily set. Look, I charge
Mm.
5K to 10K. It doesn't need to work for anyone because he is the person that creates these ideas. But a lot of creators don't want to take, like we said in our previous discussions. A lot of creatives don't want to take lead of, and I
Mm.
think that's where it lies. Some people
Yeah,
don't they want to work for Clint? They want to get the big money, but they don't want to feel confident to actually go and get the bigger bag and put themselves out there. It's never gonna
yeah.
work,
But
and you ain't
the
got to be
thing
the
is
best.
this.
You ain't got to be the best. You just have to know
Yeah.
how to make ideas sell.
The thing is this, yeah, no, I hear you. The opportunity for him to get, he didn't have five. Let's say he didn't have 5K. Do you know what I mean? 5K to everyone's different. Like obviously 5K is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but how if we look at him personally, I haven't, but let's say in Syria is 5K might be a lot
It's a
for
lot.
him. Do you know what I mean? As a young, he's
Mm.
22 years old, as a young designer, we don't know his history, we don't know his background, and now obviously he has the exposure. Now we know who he are. Now we're mentioning who he is, but before he's probably like a no one. Do you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't have the opportunity,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to even get there. So it's like now he's here. Of course, it's easier now. He saw the opportunity, and it was an opportunity, regardless of however little it could seem to some, because it's about perspective. That 5K could be 20K to him. Do you know what I mean? In Syria, so there's a lot going on. But I think it as he saw the opportunity, he took it, and it can be a good a positive thing for some designers because obviously sometimes as a designer you can think you're too good or whatever, but how can you prove that? Do you know what I mean? Well,
Mm.
enter a competition. Let's spar with other designers. See where you really see where
Nah,
you're really at. Do you know what I mean?
that doesn't mean nothing, man. But okay, but what does that mean? So if you get chosen to be the best, what does that mean? Because that's
So that
subjective. What you're
means
saying.
now. So that means he can use his name's there. You know, he can leverage
Yes.
off of this. He
Okay.
can
Cool. Okay.
he
Cool.
can
The market.
exactly. But before he wouldn't. He has nothing to prove. You know, he has not. He has.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm saying? Yeah.
he's definitely up in it. Like he can turn this into something that it's not. Like both of you said, like he's been given an opportunity, but he's also been given eyes on him. So it's like,
Mhm.
what do you do now that eyes are on you? And like, how do you build this into something that the 5K becomes nothing to you? But like, that's great for him, and I think you can look at it like that. Like, there's a positive aspect to it, but how many other people supply designs and we don't know who they are? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It devalues it. Like there's one guy that's got 5K, and I think there might be another. I think there might be other winners. I'm not too sure, but there's
Yeah.
how many other designers and creators that got zero, but they did the work. I know it's off their own back, but they did the work.
Yeah, but that work doesn't go to waste. I'll tell you that for sure. Because I think
Yeah, not to
what you
them, but
can do, you
Clint can run it.
no, Clint's definitely
Yeah, so hold on.
use it.
But
But
listen
the
to this
thing
though.
is, you can use that as a young designer. You can use that as portfolio. Like you can actually say, okay,
True.
cool, you did. I've entered this competition. If you're entering the retail or fashion space, you can say, hey, look, I've done this for space. Cool. I didn't win. People will respect it regardless. Do you know what I mean? They would say, okay,
Mm.
you didn't win, but like if someone, sometimes it's a personal thing. Let's say if they're hiring and they kind of like your designs or whatever, they'll be like, okay, cool, you didn't win, but I like that design, and we can use you, etc. And they can get jobs from it now. Do you know what I mean? There's opportunities that essentially what I was saying is from a different perspective. There's a whole he offered opportunities to people regardless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
As
yeah,
a,
definitely.
so
No, and I think that is something that he does do. Like, to give him credit, like that is something that he does do because he's reachable in it. Because even if the beginning of the conversation was someone saying that they wasn't rating his designs or how
yeah, you
his
just
brand's
tweet him.
moving, it got to him in it. So yeah, he's very reachable and he does give people the recognition. But it's not really so much him thing. It's more so like the creative industry is literally like on its knees here
Hmm.
because there's more creatives than there is opportunities, which why you have things like competitions and people can be exploited. It's like you would never see someone say, okay, cool, I need someone to do my taxes, yeah. The fastest person to do my taxes or the person that saves me the most money is gonna get paid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
it's a bit mad because everyone's still done the work.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we don't work
yeah.
100%.
But yeah, no. But I don't know. To sum it up, like
Exploitation and good marketing.
yeah. But I'm like, what advice here could we give like younger creatives to help them to avoid being exploited?
I think if just like Rondell said, I think flip it. If you are young and you're trying to learn and you want to enter competitions for fun to test your skills, like you want to test yourself, then yeah, do it, 100%. And if it all goes well, then look at that. You've got exposure, and then start from that. But if you're looking at it like, I want to do this, and if I don't get it, I'm gonna feel sad about it, then don't do it. You know,
Mm,
and build on yourself in other areas that are weaknesses, and just keep going. And if you want to start your own thing, clothing, just do it and learn. And seeing things like that, it's not only Clint or the one. You could even look at them designs and get inspirations and still, if you want to still. So it's for everyone.
that's true.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I'd say if you're a designer, I think just do if you want to do, and like the thing about these competitions are like, let's just look at Clint's competition. There's lots of design competitions, and they all exploit brands. Like let's say there's logo competition. Like let's say companies
Mm,
build logo competitions. Oh, let's design. If the winner who designs our logo gets 5K. Do you know what I mean? Like they used to
mm,
do these things, and they would exploit designers, and then obviously you now win 5K, which and they would pay something like that can be worth like millions, right? But they
mm,
give you 5K, and now okay, the trade-off is you've got portfolio work, you've got clout, but you kind of been exploited, but now you can kind of leverage off of your portfolio work. So it's kind of it's hard to compromise, like to because in one hand you've been exploited, but in the next hand you have exposure, and it's like
yeah.
I think exposure kind of means a lot in design because now we kind of have a name, you have a portfolio, you have something to reference, you have if you lose the digital currency attached to it, you have clout, right? You have
Hmm.
a name, you have a self, you have credibility points. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
You're credible, and that can be used now in the future, like this Mayfair guy who won the Clint thing, to now use and say, hey, I've done this thing, I've been tested, I've been proven, I've entered a competition, you know, and yeah, I've got a great body of work. I'm capable. It shows that you're capable of doing things. So I think you can enter competition. Just be mindful and be sure to be prepared for the amount of currency you get. If you're happy with that, go about doing
yeah.
it. If you're not, then it's probably not worth your time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I just thought of something like this is actually depending on what like way you've come into the industry, but if you've gone through say uni or like a design school, this is something that's trained into you. Because remember, we had to do those competitions in uni for
Hmm.
all of those big different. So we had the YCN one, the DNAD one, and I think a couple others. So
Hmm.
like competition, like creative competitions are nothing new. But I think the advice that I would give to younger creatives or just people new into the industry is like know what you're getting from the competition before you enter it. Don't just enter the
Yeah,
competition and hope to win. Do you know what I mean? Like that like you guys have said, it might be portfolio work, it might be exposure, might be practice. could be so many different things, but like know why you're doing it and just be happy to say like it's an idea that you're happy to lose. And once it's out there, it's out there, and you can think of new ones in it. So yeah.
Yeah, standing up.
Big up Clint for
up
getting all those designs for cheap. You know what I mean?
You've got marketing.
And the marketing, you know what I mean? So he's doing his thing.
100%, man.
Cool. And
that's
us, innit?
Us.
So lock in next time. We'll be talking about more stuff, design, marketing, brand.
Digital, everything.
Everything.
Easy.